through the left side, base hit! Downing is in to score, and DVC walk it off.
Chest high step, he looks down the middle of the field, he's going to throw the goal right, has a man in the field, intercepted, taking it down the far sideline, he steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and that's how you cap the game up.
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand, Jasmine got it! 3 threes for number 23.
Who finds Edwards, Edwards needs to get the shot up, pulls up a deep three, able to knock it down!
The counterattack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes out. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus! And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California! Of women's soccer on DVC Vikings Live Radio. Today, a big day for a number of reasons as we ready ourselves for kickoff of Anza DVC live from Cupertino in just a few minutes. First and foremost, welcome. My name is Joe Hickey. I will be your host, your commentator, your best buddy throughout the course of this season. And today is the start of Vikings Fall 2024 athletics. Soccer batting leadoff this afternoon, if I may mix my sports metaphors. But volleyball will be serving up action tomorrow night in Livermore. Water polo dives into the season with the men in Merced this weekend and the women at Cuesta next. Cross country, football, they'll stretch their legs next Friday, September 6th. And we'll be bringing you highlights of all of that and, of course, live broadcasts of football as well, all fall long here on DVC Vikings Live. Of course, it's also a big day for the women that will be the stars of today's broadcast. A team that was hamstrung by the loss of their leader and chief offensive weapon, Amy Alva, last year is looking to forge their own identity in 2024. And Coach Mullins told me about the advent of a winter workout club spurred on by the returners themselves that began the process of preparing for today 8 months ago. A group of self-starting sophomores headlined by returning leading scorer Suhani Singh is flush with creative, speedy midfielders, while Lily Underwood will be responsible for coordinating a group of young but promising defenders to try to turn the goals created by the rest of the team into the victories that the green and white found admittedly a little tough to come by after a hot 3-0 start to last season's campaign. Now, one of those wins last year came against the Mountain Lions of Anza College, today's opponent. Mark Landefeld's program was making its return to the field last September 1st after being unable to field a team in 2022. While they had just 2 wins themselves last year, they do return nearly everyone that scored in those games, headlined by Yael Gonen, who tallied the game winner in a come-from-behind. Now, speaking of a comeback, today's a big day for me as well, and I'm not going to talk a ton about it, but I am returning to the mic after a 16-month pause in my work in DVC athletics, a little bit of a mental health break to figure out how to make being a professor and being a fixture on these fields sustainable. But it's always had today as the end game, and it could hardly be a more special day because on top of that, it is my 10th anniversary of my very first DVC radio call with you, dear listeners. I get to celebrate it with you. Coincidentally, that game was also the last time the Vikings Anza program, kicking off the 2014 season with a resounding 5-0 win. Could today be just a little bit of history repeating? We'll find out with us when we come back with Lineup here on Vikings Live Radio. Stay tuned.
People try to forget her, but they find it instead. She's the kind of girl that just gets stuck in your head. They're lining up round the block to meet her. They've known sweet, but there ain't none sweeter. I think they broke the mold when they made her. That's my Tennessee pearl. You just can't pretend. You could come a stranger, but you're leaving as a friend. Stop acting like you got a choice here. She's got a heart that you just can't cloister. Can't deny the world's her oyster. That's my Tennessee pearl. That's my Tennessee pearl.
Well, you went to the wild when your lost was dried. To watch one hungry empire devour another in a fearsome drive. Where the river rushes to a I see through those brackish streets. You want to bury your grief in fearful symmetry. Well, you went to the wilds in some self-imposed exile, and deep inside a reckless mood, you lost yourself in that solitude. Who was it that saw you wander off between the dunes in those wind-whipped brutal hues? Russet gold grasses enveloped you. Who watched you try to drown your blues in the shadows there? Was it all teeth and claws in the tall grass there? There might be lions in the tall grass. Just keep walking on. Who was it? Your mountain trepidation soaked into dawn and dread. Lines entwined through bishop pines. His and yours sharply defined.
And welcome back. A look at your starting lineups for DVC. It'll be Denise Correa in goal, Cristabel Rodas, Lily Underwood, Callista Rubel, and Mila Ninkovic expected to make up a four-woman defense. It's going to be a diamond midfield behind two forwards up top, and it will be DVC putting up the kickoff in just a moment. It's Casey Trujillo, and we are underway here at Anza College. The 2024 season underway. And we'll get that scoreboard in place right here. We've had a few technical snags over the course of the early afternoon, but we seem to be up and running, and DVC start in possession. Carol Esquivias in possession at the moment. Worked over to the right side now. One touch from Hicks, and it's a shot immediately off the boot of the number 8. And that is Mila Ninkovic, working as the right back, but somebody who Coach Mullins says is more than willing to work her way up the pitch. The ball now worked back to the defense after Anza get their first save of the day. On the foot of Callista Rubel, the left center back. She's got Cristabel Rodas here at the near sideline as the Vikings attack right to left across your YouTube progress bar. A ball rolled to the feet of Suhani Singh. Gets under those, though. Recovered here by Anza. The Mountain Lions in the burgundy tops, burgundy socks, and black shorts. DVC black shorts as well, but white tops and white socks. As we said, it is a 4-4-2. It's Singh and Trujillo up top, and Suhani receiving a throw-in at the far sideline. She will be unable to keep that in play. Throw-in signaled for the Mountain Lions by Josue Ornelas. He is joined by Rosie Go at the near sideline from our broadcast position. Center official Troy Teal. Just 10 on the field for the Mountain Lions. They may have Jessica Zhao later on in the encounter, according to head coach Mark Landefeld. As Rodas brings the ball forward just under the foot of a defender, comes to Suhani. Singh fires through the keeper and goal! Suhani Singh puts the Vikings up 1-0 here in minute number 2. Tasty ball worked forward out of the midfield by Cristabel Rodas. And right away we see DVC ready to bring the outside backs forward into the attack. One of the ideas in mind right from the get-go for Coach Cailin Mullins was to try to surround Suhani Singh with a bit more support. Last season, after the injury to Amy Alva, Singh found herself on an island on a pretty regular basis. She is the Vikings' returning leading scorer with 5 goals last season. Most of those, though, coming in a very hot start to the year for DVC. Hard to start any hotter than this. 1-0 in minute number 1. As I am reminded that one of my many jobs on this broadcast is updating the scoreboard. There we are. Ball presently possessed by DVC. Up ahead for Suhani Singh. May well have been offside, but held on according to Mr. Ornelas. Put out by Ana Santos Eugenio over at the left sideline as we're trying to get a sense of Anza's lineup and arrangement. There were a few number changes just before the match began, which is a familiar feeling for me. I see a 26 out there, and I'm going to have to check the official roster and see if I actually do have one of those. But a combination of injuries and other reasons for unavailability. Oh, correction, 26 is Yael Gonen, listed as number 9. So we'll try to give you a sense here of the alignment, but it is just a 10-woman team here for the De Anza Mountain Lions as DVC look to continue their hot start. Isolated striker appears to be the 17, Casey Walker. Rodas, back to DVC's number 17. Quickly on the overlap is Carol Esquivias Contreras. Back to Rodas, 20 yards from goal. Rodas tries to bring it forward. Blocked initially, now finds the feet of her teammate. A shot from distance is going to go just wide. Off the boot of the 24, Maila Hicks, a freshman out of Doherty Valley. So for the Vikings, it is Trujillo and Singh up top. Hicks would appear to be the front of the diamond, Rosemont the back of it. Esquivias and the woman in control of the ball right now, Sofia Lopez Real, to the left and to the right. Lopez Real is muscled off the ball. Illegally, though. Free kick taken quickly by the Vikings. Sierra Rosemont out to the right side. Ball crossed into the 18. Popped up in the air by the foot of Singh. Now controlled by Rosemont. About 10 yards shy of the box. She'll drop it all the way back to center back and captain Lily Underwood. Up ahead to Trujillo. Turns. Finds Singh at the edge of the 18. Puts it onto her left foot, but she was offside at the moment that ball was played forward. And it'll be De Anza ball. If you're just joining us, Suhani Singh with the opening goal of today's encounter. That coming just 80 seconds into the 2024 season. Vikings lead 1-0 as a result. Free kick taken by De Anza, now on the foot of right back Mila Ninkovic. Rosemont step around to try to evade the arrival of Isabella Canepa. Foul committed by the Vikings in defense, and it'll be a free kick here for De Anza. So he said Walker kind of isolated up top. Gonen and Santos, Ana Santos Eugenio, seem to be bracketing the defense at the moment. And it is going to be Gonen to take this free kick. Runs this to the feet of a teammate at the far sideline, Donna Bellido. Up ahead looking for Canepa. Unable to hold on to it, though. DVC take it away. Ninkovic up ahead for Trujillo, who held her position onside. Now beats a defender with pace. Here she comes into the box from the right side. Trujillo rolls this toward the feet of Singh. She turns, fires off the post after a touch from the goalkeeper, Anna Bagra. And a big save there. DVC's second shot on frame is quite literally on frame. Bagra wearing the same outfit as the remainder of her team, but with a penny on that has a logo of some sort that, at least from this distance, looks like a bullseye. I hope that doesn't end up being prophetic for her. The Vikings so far with 2 shots on goal, one of them in goal through the first 6.5 minutes. Ball on the foot of Sierra Rosemont at the moment. She loads up a shot from distance. That is going to fly wide to the left. Goal kick to come. A hot day here in Cupertino, 90 degrees the temperature at game time. It's not the hottest match in the history of DVC Vikings Live. That would probably have to go to the match that I said last season, or 2 seasons ago in Oroville, was being played inside a pizza oven. Vikings won that game 3-1 against the Roadrunners of Butte. Today, just a little bit of slow roasting. And if we remain hydrated, worst case scenario, brazing. DVC work a nice triangle at the far sideline to put the ball on the foot of Sofia Lopez Real. Now forward for Suhani Singh toward the center. She controls after a tough touch from Esquivias. Back to Lopez. Centrally now for Singh. Steps through 2 defenders, the third one able to finally arrest her progress. That being the number 4, Natalie Kroll. Correction, lots of number changes. The roster you see on the screen at the moment, not fully accurate in terms of numbers. Of course, you're not watching it right now. I am, so that's really more my problem. Throw in for the Vikings from the right side. That's knocked over the back line by a Anza defender. I believe coming off of Canepa, or rather the 18 Bolito. That's going to be the day's first corner kick. Carol Esquivias will put this one in as she marches over to the right corner. She is right-footed, so an outswinger potentially to come. 2 Vikings at the goal line, along with 3 defenders for Anza. Now the third one comes out to join the 4 Vikings at the edge of the 18. Here comes the ball in. That's going to find Trujillo, but not before the leaping header from a Anza defender. That being the 12, Leah Hirata, sister of one of last season's leading scorers, Lana. Vikings recover the ball after the ball was initially cleared. Running up the right sideline was the 16, Callista Rubel, who has switched positions just a little bit, getting involved in the attack. Likely taking full advantage of her position after the corner kick, where she will for sure be an aerial threat, the freshman center back out of St. Patrick St. Vincent. Ball on the foot of Cristabel Rodas. She beats a defender off the dribble. Looks to beat a second and does. Earns the byline. Now crosses this into the 18. Met first time by Maila Hicks, but unable to guide it on frame. But a busy 10 minutes for the green and white. And we will have our first substitution of the day. Appears to be a single-digit number, meaning that is either Miki Miyazaki or Diana Ruiz. I am on the side opposite the player benches. And I believe, in fact, that is Miki Miyazaki, freshman midfielder, 20-year-old out of Hakodate, Japan, EI High School. And a fun addition here to this green and white side. Ball put back into play and immediately out here on the near sideline in front of our broadcast position. Cristabel Rodas to the chest of Callista Rubel. Back to Wood, as Lily Underwood's teammates generally refer to her. Sierra Rosemont works a nice 1-2 in the midfield with the 24 Hicks. Out wide looking for Rodas. She will go on the overlap as Trujillo takes it. And Casey is going to try to put one in here towards Suhani Singh. It's a meeting between her and the goalkeeper. The last touch is off Singh and it carries wide of the goal. And a goal kick to come. Anna Bagra in the bright yellow gloves. Certainly going to be an important player here to complete your chromatic panorama. Denise Correa in the 0 jersey over to our right side. It is a bright yellow jersey over the black shorts and socks. Actually, I shouldn't say bright yellow. It's much more athletic gold. Bright yellow, fluorescent yellow, is what's being worn by the refereeing crew, also over black and black. Throw into the green and white on the far sideline. 1-0, DVC on top. Goal off the boot of Suhani Singh. Ball rattling around at the right side, met with the head of Sierra Rosemont. She commits a foul against the lone striker, Casey Walker. So trying to get a sense of the lineup here as it's being used. It would appear to be Donna Belito and Ana Santos bracketing the defense. In the center, it's the 4 Crowell and the 26 Gonen, both of whom have different numbers than you would see on your roster right now. We'll try to update that at the break when we get a free moment. But it's not the first time we've come to Anza and had the roster be very different than we expected. Here's a ball forward looking for Singh, who commits a foul in trying to work her way around Yael Gonen. Good ball put in, however, by Esquivias initially. Working down this left side. So if that's your defense, that would leave Lillian Go, Isabella Canepa, Iris Lee, and Leah Hirata as your midfield behind Casey Walker in her bright yellow headband easy to spot. One of those things you appreciate as a broadcaster, so that you don't have to spot a tiny number from a distance. You just look for bright yellow. Ball worked forward on the right side by Anza, cut off by Rodas. Canepa on it, bracketed by two defenders. She dumps it back for Hirata. Leah Hirata tries to beat Hicks on the dribble, but the ball carries to Esquivias. Her ball forward banks off of Hicks and right back to Canepa. Hirata forward and cut off this time around by the lean mean 13 in green, Sierra Rosemont. And she puts the ball forward for Suhani Singh. Suhani took a first touch looking to give herself something to run onto. Unfortunately, carries way too long. And that'll go to the feet of Anna Bagra in goal. "14 minutes gone so far here at Anza College. We will have a cooling break due to that 90-degree temperature here. It is otherwise lovely weather, a clear blue sky overhead, not a cloud in sight, as the ball is battled for inside the center circle. Cut out again by Isabella Canepa, who tries to work her way through Rodas down the right sideline. She does beat the number 3 in white, but Lily Underwood surveys, recovers the ball, and now works that to Rodas, who holds it in play at the near sideline. Rodas looking to take some space. Cristobal, a transfer from Pacific Union. They are the Pioneers, although she did have some experience with prior Vikings as opponents in high school, facing off with the likes of Liliana Castañeda and Amy Alva. Free kick taken by the Vikings after a foul at midfield. Immediately to the left side, Casey Trujillo with a nutmeg. Enters the 18 from the left, fires! Goal! A goal 5 years in the making, but at long last, the first tally in green and white for Casey Trujillo! Absolutely stellar work up the left side. We'll tell you a little more about Casey's story here as we have. Casey back here at long last, playing her sophomore season, her second year of eligibility. It is a redshirt sophomore season, and it comes 7 years after her freshman season at Solano. As Vikings in search of more immediately. It's Suhani Singh up the right side, just at the edge of the 18-yard box. Spins around one defender, now tries to play it back for Miyazaki. Cut off briefly by the number 11, which would be Lillian Go, not Iris Lee. This is making me crazy. I guess 1 + 1 adds up to 2. Cristobal Rodas puts the ball in towards the head, flicked nicely, and bouncing up where Bagra will claim it's going to be offside, however, anyhow. But a flicked header by Carol Esquivias trying to play on Trujillo. Got away just a little bit early. "2-0 your scoreline here. Vikings on top. Goals from Suhani Singh and Casey Trujillo. So again, the Trujillo story here. Played 2017 at Solano. Came to DVC after taking a year off in between. Had missed the last 7 games of the season at Solano with some injury issues. Comes to DVC, plays one amazing game in 2019 on opening day. Has the assist on the only goal against her old mates from Solano, and nearly does give DVC a game winner, if not for a spectacular save by a goalkeeper that day was just absolutely standing on her head. And then between games 1 and 2, tore her ACL. Here's a ball up the left side, and Trujillo showing those wheels. Comes to a stop in front of the 4 Crowell, tries to put in a cross. That's going to go back behind the goal for a goal kick. But of course, Trujillo unavailable for the remainder of 2019 after the ACL tear. Really somewhat destroyed the offense that the Vikings had planned for that season, which looked pretty good at that point and was a little woeful from that point forward. 2020 obviously wiped out by COVID. And at that point, Trujillo transferred. She's going to take a shot from distance just over the bar. Throw-in came to her feet. She hears me talking about her and is going to just keep on giving us things to talk about, it would appear. But transferred to Stanislaus State. That was seemingly the end of her DVC story, but came back as an assistant coach last year. And the assumption was she would be back in a similar role this time around, but decided a few months ago, I think I'd like to use that last year of eligibility that I still have in my back pocket. And so far, paying dividends. She's got her first goal as a Viking. And DVC lead 2-0 here in the 20th minute. Ball on the foot of Sierra Rosemont, about 40 yards from goal. Forward for Trujillo, working on Gonen, the center back. That ball punched off the body of Trujillo, pops up at the edge of the 18. Gonen waiting for it to be kickable. Maila Hicks nearly able to take that away in the meanwhile. The ball pushed forward. And Sofia Lopez Real will escort it out of play for a throw. And we'll have a substitute, and I believe that is Jessica Zhao entering the game with the number 6 jersey. And so up to 11 players now. And she appears to slot herself in immediately as either a left wing or a second forward. Or rather, perhaps, what we have there is the 11, Lillian Go, coming forward to join Casey Walker. Ball reflected out towards the DVC benches, which are presently on the side of the field the Vikings are defending. Have not had to do a whole lot of work over there through 20 minutes. Ball put forward with the outside of the boot by Miyazaki. That'll be taken away, however. Quickly dealt with by Lily Underwood, though, and at the center stripe, Sierra Rosemont galloping forward. Canepa looks to cut her off. No dice. Ball rolled up the right sideline, but nobody moving into that space for the green and white. And it'll be a goal kick to come. This is the first game of the 2024 season for DVC. They'll be in action again twice next week. Their home opener coming up on Tuesday the 3rd as DVC author a substitution. Suhani Singh will leave the encounter for now, and I believe that's Alina Rodriguez, freshman out of Cal Prep, entering the fray. Goal kick from Bagra is going to carry directly out of play. A throw in to come here for the Vikings. Cristabel Rodas will put it in just a moment. Rubel and Underwood, again, your center backs. Ninkovic all the way over at the far sideline is your right back. And at the moment, it is the 6th Diana Ruiz who also entered the encounter, showing as the left midfielder in place of Carol Esquivias. Esquivias does remain in the game. She's now playing the top of the diamond, and she is fed beautifully by Sierra Rosemont. Dribbles around a defender. Esquivias fires, and that's going to go wide of the goal, perhaps with a touch. No, the signal is a goal kick. Put off well enough by the combination of Yael Gonen and a second defender, still to be identified, looks like Leah Hirata, who tracked Esquivias out of the midfield. Ruiz cuts off a ball here, tries to dribble through 2 defenders on the right side, controlled by Anza. Gonen looking for a teammate on the left sideline. Wild play by Miyazaki to try to take it away, but falls to the turf. But another ball forward, cut off by Sofia Lopez Real. Moves this towards the center. Reflected, back to her foot. Tries to dribble through 2 adversaries, and it's now Alina Rodriguez looking to get stuck in. Manages to take the ball off of the 18 Bolido for just a moment. And she makes an immediate impression physically. Played at San Ramon FC with Maila Hicks and is the sister of a DVC Athletics alumna, a water polo player. But right away, using her physicality, something that she and Suhani Singh have had conversations about, both of them very much hold-up type forwards, but with a little bit of speed, throwing her body around immediately. Little attention at the bench given to Casey Walker. Ball on the foot of Miyazaki. She will put a ball in toward the head of Trujillo. Glancing header. That'll take a couple of hops to reach Bagra. No harm, no foul there for Anza. The score remains 2-0 in favor of the women in green and white. Rosemont to the near sideline. Rodas working forward and taking the space that's being allowed, and now splits two defenders on the dribble. Looks to face up another one. Now leaves it for Esquivias, trying for the 1-2. Just enough of a touch by Hirata. Only half cleared, though. Trujillo's got it. She's going to take rip from distance on one hop into the breadbasket of Ana Bagra. So for the Vikings right now, it's Trujillo and Rodriguez up top. It would appear to be Ruiz as the attacking midfielder, Miyazaki and Esquivias on either side of that. And Sofia Lopez Real is slotting in at the moment as the right back. Interesting change of approach. Certainly gives you someone willing to mix it up once she does get up there. Mila Ninkovic having come off the field. Throw in awarded after a 50-50 ball to Anza here on the near sideline. Still in their defensive zone. It'll be the number 4, Natalia Kroll, to put the ball in up that right sideline. Cut off for a moment by Rodas, but now onto the foot of Leah Hirata. Leah with one Viking on her back and another crossing over. Triple team comes, and it's Miyazaki taking the ball away and now looking to re-find her position. Carol Esquivias, shifty dribbling to avoid the arrival of Canepa. To the feet of Ruiz. Now back to Rubel. Rodas. An R connection over on this side. Rubel, Rodas, Ruiz. Now on the foot of Rosemont. Keep them coming. Out wide, right side, Miyazaki. Enters the 18 from the right side. Here comes her shot in. Met with the foot of a defender. And now fired again. A second foot save. I said defender. It was Ana Bagra who came out and stabbed that away. The follow-up shot from the edge of the 18 by Alina Rodriguez. Stopped in similar fashion. Bagra, perhaps like DVC's keeper, Denise Correa, may well be a field player more comfortable using her feet than those bright yellow gloves. Correa, for her part, yet to be troubled over at the other end of the field with 18 minutes 45 seconds to go in our first half. Miyazaki dribbles around a defender, puts in a cross, deflected just before it would have arrived at Casey Trujillo, and it's out for a DVC corner. It'll be Esquivias again to put the ball in. And I will say the heat, quite noticeable at the start of the game, has already become just the way it is. It's not particularly stagnant. The cross is batted away, now in towards Sierra Rosemont. Glancing header from her from inside the 6. Couldn't make solid contact, and Ana Bagra claims. And I believe that will be the drinks break here in the first half, and we'll take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about what is going on elsewhere in DVC athletics. Namely, we have got ourselves the fall season kickoff. We alluded to a few of these beforehand. Sorry, having a little difficulty in the bright sun locating the graphic here. But volleyball, rather tomorrow night, that should say, at 6:30, the Vikings will get started at Las Positas College. You can catch your first home volleyball game on September 11th, 2 p.m. against Merced. Water polo, the men get started this Friday. They'll be at the Merced North-South Tournament. Women, they'll be waiting until next Friday when the men will be on their way to West Valley College in Saratoga for the Nyquist. Women will be at the Cuesta Invitational. Both of them have their home dates all in the month of October, pretty much every Wednesday in October. It'll be a 3 p.m. start for women's water polo, 5 p.m. for the men, and they'll start against American River College. Also of note, water polo will be hosting the Big 8 tournament the second weekend of November. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We hope to be bringing that one to you as well on DVC Vikings Live. Last teams to get rolling will be cross country next Friday morning at the Clovis Invitational. I suppose they're getting rolling just a little before women's water polo, who have a start, I think, around 11 a.m. Cross country, they run those at 8 in the morning, which, given that you do these things in places like Clovis or Martinez, probably for the best. Get it in before it gets too warm. Football will be the last to get rolling as Jimmy Collins' new team kicks off on Friday at 5:30 on DVC Vikings Live against Fresno City College. Players back out onto the field after the cooling break. The clock never did come to a start, so we will have, or to a stop rather, so we will have a somewhat extended bit of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. For those that are new to community college soccer and the timing of it, generally speaking, the way it works is the clock here at the field stops at 2 minutes to go, or since theirs is counting up at 43 minutes. And then from that point forward, you're just pretty much staring at Troy Teal and wondering when that final whistle is coming. Oftentimes the referee will give a 1 minute or 2 minute signal when you're nearing the end, but that's about all you get. No big light up board or anything like that. Most of the time, no fourth official here at the JUCO level. Ball's played out on the far sideline after the restart. DVC will have a throw in from just across the midfield stripe, right side of their attack, and they immediately drop it back to Lily Underwood, who plays it across to Callista Rubel. It is now Jessica Zhao, the number 6, partnering, it would appear, the 11, Lillian Go, as the two strikers. In this Anza attack, coached by Mark Landefeld here in his second year. Vikings had it for a moment, now taken away, and it's Isabella Canepa moving into the center circle, surrounded by Vikings. Somehow manages to get a ball to Leah Hirata that she flicks forward toward Zhao, but that's cut out by Rodas. Now on the foot of Underwood. Sprayed to the right side at the midfield stripe where Miyazaki's moving. This one hooked upwards, and the ball stays in play for Sofia Lopez Real, and that's a nice little overlap for the right back come midfielder. Taken off of her foot by Canepa, and it's going to be a DVC corner kick here in minute number 31. Likely to be minute number 32 by the time it's taken. At the moment, of our available players, I believe the only one we've yet to see in action, only ones, are Marina Ognian and Hannah Walden. Everybody else has seen time so far for the green and white. Rosemont and Rodriguez at the posts for DVC. 4 Vikings at the left edge of the half moon. Make it 5. Aggressive run coming from Rubel. That's where the cross is landing, but she's unable to get ahead to it. Pops up over the head of Esquivias. Ruiz trying to get to it. Now a ball punched by Sofia Lopez Real. Ruiz hooks it forward to an offside Alina Rodriguez at the penalty dot, and that'll end that opportunity right there. No apparent changes after the cooling break. Still Trujillo and Rodriguez in front of Ruiz. Wide players in the midfield, Miyazaki and Esquivias. Rosemont, the deep-lying midfielder, and here's a ball taken away by Esquivias on the left wing. Defenders collapsing, so she'll bring this forward to Trujillo. Running at a diagonal as she got it at the half moon, ends up at the left corner of the box. Now trying to hook a ball in. Knocked down by a Anza defender and forward to the feet of Jessica Zhao. Slide tackle by Sierra Rosemont. Takes the ball, but only as far as Canepa. Forward now for Zhao. Zhao to the center circle. That is where Lopez Real will step forward and take the ball away. Rattles between her head and that of Miyazaki. Now on the foot of Miki. Good touch to burn her way right by the 17, Casey Walker. Now puts in a cross just over the head of her intended target, Rodriguez. Trujillo brings it down, fires, and a bit of an awkward save, but an effective one by Bagra. Comes off her knee, then her chest, maybe her left hand, and she settles. A few too many things going on as we got underway here, so I've been unable to keep stats with the exception of, obviously, the goal scorers. And we'll recap those for you here as it is 2-0. Suhani Singh in the 2nd minute. Casey Trujillo in the 16th. It had been 21 months since I'd gotten to do a goal call, And Suhani made sure I didn't have to wait any longer than 80 more seconds once the first whistle sounded. Vikings with the ball in their defense. Calista Rubel. Left side, center stripe for Rodas, back to the feet of Rubel. Lopez Real looking very comfortable in that right back role right now. We haven't seen her have to defend, but as an offensive overlap weapon, that is a luxury to have. And she'll go back and forth with Miyazaki, and here comes the overlap, and she's burned a few defenders. Thinks about dribbling centrally, now finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez behind the defense. Rodriguez into the box. Fires! Goal! Alina Rodriguez! First goal in green and white for the freshman out of Cal Prep. And she makes it 3-0 here in minute number 35. It was a beautiful 1-2 on the right side of the midfield that got that started. Miyazaki and Lopez Real combining very nicely. The idea of having those two on that side and then the likes of Esquivias and Rodas with their experience over here on the left. This is looking to be a very exciting midfield. As we said, it remains to be seen how they're going to defend, but for the time being, as an offensive weapon, mission accomplished to this point. 10 minutes to go in this first half as Anza prepare for the kickoff. Iris Lee back into the match. I believe that just as they got back Jessica Zhou, Lee, who's wearing the number 7, may well have been unable to continue for a short period of time, but we see her stretch out. Foul over here at the near sideline as there's a coming together between Esquivias and Santos. It's going to be a free kick for the Vikes. Rubel takes it back into the defense as we enter the final 10 minutes of first half action. 3-0 here on DVC Vikings Live Radio. Singh in the second, Trujillo in the 16th, Rodriguez in the 35th. The latter two, the first goals for those two players in green and white. For Suhani Singh, her 6th career. Miyazaki trying to combine again on the right wing with Lopez Real. Ball worked away. And now forward here for Zhao. Cut off by Sierra Rosemont near the center stripe. Far sideline, she'll drop that back to Lily Underwood, who takes the acres of space being conceded to her and now brings the ball forward to the right side. Miyazaki, with no one on her right now, working towards the corner flag. She will put in a cross. That is dangerous. Gets through 2 defenders, kicked away by Bagra. Traveling laterally along the byline. And it'll be the newly reinserted Iris Lee to come away with it, and she's got a little bit of room to run into now. Cavalry coming for Anza, 4 players up in front of her as she absorbs contact from Lopez Real in a battle of 7s. Free kick to come here for the Mountain Lions. I'll apologize in advance if I now and again refer to them accidentally as the Dons. This is the first time I've been on the call for a game since they did the name change. 10 years ago, when I had my first broadcast here at this field, they were most assuredly the Dons. I applaud the logic and the decision, rationale behind making that name change. Ball claimed by DVC on the free kick. Esquivias now up to Rosemont. Wide to Rodas. Esquivias claims one here on the left side. Iris Lee looking to face her up. She waits for the overlap of Christabel. At the byline on her left foot. Christabel trying to cut her way inside the arrival of a Anza player. And it's going to be a corner kick here for the green and white. 3rd of the day for DVC. Substitution time, and I believe if I'm seeing the number correctly from a distance, that is Maila Hicks re-entering the encounter and replacing Sierra Rosemont, who will take her first breather of the 2024 season. Rosemont out all spring due to knee surgery, but is back to her physical self as of late And the conditioning certainly seems good as she plays the opening 39 minutes of this encounter. Corner kick coming from the left side, just through the leg of a DVC player. Now comes straight to another Viking player, Diana Ruiz, I believe. Or perhaps Cristabel Rodas. No, that was indeed Ruiz, as Trujillo put the ball in. It was over the foot of Lopez Real, if I'm not mistaken. Then it was Ruiz who had a clear look to fire forward, but blocked by a forest of Anza defenders. And admittedly, because of the fact that she is wearing the same outfit by and large and also prefers to use her feet, maybe Ana Bagra. I have a hard time telling which one's the goalkeeper over there. I hope the referees aren't having any difficulty with that. Casey Walker now playing on the left side of the midfield after Jessica Zhou entered the encounter, with the throw-in from just in front of the Anza player bench. Ball popped up, held for a moment by Yael Gonen, now taken away. Alina Rodriguez using that physicality. Again looking to beat her, nears the corner flag, tries to put in a cross, but that is going to skip along the line and eventually over it. Goal kick to come, 5.5 minutes to go here in our first half. So the reset Maila Hicks, who started the day at the top of the diamond, is now at the back of it, with Ruiz up top, behind Trujillo and Rodriguez, who have combined nicely since the insertion of Alina on Vikings' debut. Goal kick claimed by Trujillo after a touch from Esquivias. Now Esquivias spins around one defender, cleaned up by Hirata. Clearance only as far as Ruiz, about 40 yards away. Her ball forward touched by Canepa, but Ruiz will track back and reclaim. Leaves that for Lopez Real on the right side. Forward Ruiz. Steps around the arrival of Canepa and that of Walker. Puts it to the foot of Miyazaki. Miki. Towards the penalty dot. Trujillo arriving. Bagra needs 2 bites at the apple to settle it, but she will claim just in front of the penalty dot. No harm, no foul here for Anza. Bagra will roll that to the feet of Crowell. Natalia Crowell at the left side of the defense. Gives that to Lee, who appears to be playing the back part of a diamond midfield. Walker forward for Canepa. Now looking down the left wing where that's cut off by Lopez Real. Forward for Miyazaki, but she wasn't getting off to the run just yet. That'll go out for a throw-in. Zhou and Santos, your forwards right now for the Mountain Lions. Ball popping about in the defensive third for Anza. Pressure coming from Alina. Mountain Lions able to escape it. Ball right now on the foot of Crowell. Almost wrong foots Iris Lee, but she claims it. Nice ball forward into the center circle for Canepa, and a good 1-2 there played with Jessica Zhou. She brings that forward for Santos, and it is a breakaway. Flag stays down, entering the 18, and now crashed into, and the ball taken away by Callista Rubel. Just not enough urgency or assertiveness there for the Anza forward, Ana Santos Eugenio. And it's Esquivias coming away with it. Dribbling around one defender, taking some space, and now leaving it for Trujillo on the left wing. Trujillo trying to work her way through the 12, Leah Hirata. Good work by Hirata to deny her the lane she was looking for. Now back to Rubel. Hoofs a ball on a diagonal to the right side, looking for Rodriguez. She is onside. Ball rattling around. Bagra does not claim it. And now a chance to try to score from distance as it was laid back to the foot of Miyazaki, with the goalkeeper out, but she's unable to guide that on frame. I believe the scoreboard here at Anza got off to a slightly late start, so it is a good 20 seconds behind mine, but the one on your screen about to stop at the 2 minutes to go mark. One here likely to stop in roughly 25 seconds at the 43-minute mark. Either way, it'll be in the hands of Troy Teal to let us know when this first half has come to a close. a fruitful one for the green and white. They started out playing with a one-woman advantage due to injuries and perhaps late arrivals there. Jessica Zhou able to finally get in there to give them a full 11. Ball right now on the foot of Canepa, looking to go forward for the 11, Lillian Go. No dice. Lopez Real takes it away, dribbles around one defender, then a second, beating Walker, working her way up the right sideline, nearing the corner flag, looking to put in a cross. That is going to get around one defender. Trujillo, though, in a crowd, unable to make solid contact. Bagra's got it. And will claim it on the ground. Troy Teal brings things to a close here. Thought maybe there was a signal of a foul up front, but nothing doing. Trujillo motors back to her position. And Anza in no hurry to get things back underway. On a hot day, down 3-0. I imagine the halftime whistle can't come soon enough. Ball taken away here again by DVC. Diana Ruiz was working her way forward in a battle with Canepa. Esquivias is going to take a rip from distance as the ball fell to her foot after that battle. Blocked. Now claimed by the 24 Hicks. Dropped all the way back to Wood. And the clock here at the Anza Field has not come to a close. It's going to be at 45 minutes and about 45 seconds. Miyazaki on the dribble. Drops this now to Rodriguez. Whipped down to ground. We see a signal, and the ball is rolled into the back of the net. What is the signal from Troy Teal? Oh, it's offside before the foul. A bit of confusion there as Rodriguez was whipped down for sure, and the initial point from the referee, I was trying to tell if that was a penalty or advantage or what, but a quick look over to Josue Ornelas makes it abundantly clear. Rodriguez had drifted into an offside position before the ball was played to her. Free kick taken. Anza with it in their defensive third. Lee. It's now Esquivias taking it away from the arrival of the number 4 Crowell. Now on the foot of Esquivias just inside the near sideline. Roll to the feet of Rodriguez, trying to drop back for the arrival of Ruiz. Cut out by Canepa, and now up ahead to the left sideline. Probably needed a touch, did Lillian Go, to keep that one under control. Unable to do so, and that is going to be halftime. Troy Teal makes the signal. And so you have your 3-0 result here through the first half. Again, Suhani Singh in the second, Casey Trujillo in the 16th, Alina Rodriguez in the 35th, DVC decisively on top, and we're going to take it to the halftime break, and we're going to resume a tradition from last season of introducing you to exciting local musicians here on DVC Vikings Live Halftime for 2024, again partnering with the KVHS weekly radio show, The Beat of Diablo. That is hosted by Dave Hughes, who spends his time digging up the very best the Bay Area has to offer. So again, your score from Cupertino, 3-0 after 45 minutes to the good. We'll see you back here in 15. Take it away, Dave.
This is Dave Hughes, and you're listening to select cuts from my weekly show, The Beat of Diablo, here on DVC Vikings Live Halftime. If you want to hear more local music, tune in this Sunday and every Sunday at 7 p.m. to Concord's iconic student-built 90.5 KVHS, Concord Rock City.
Turn it up because it's Your leaves may the sun always kiss. Your air blows so clean and so crisp. May no more backfire from this human empire. Keep you from hearing this. Heaven, oh heaven is green. From the mountains to the sea, grounded by the green blackberry bramble in the bale breeze. Wash my soul clean, I beg, never leave. I can hear your voices through the trees. Heaven, oh heaven is green. From the flowers to the bees. Heaven in their eyes I have seen. Heaven in our eyes I have seen. Now they spin around like the perfect machine. And your sweet forests are clear cut clean, clear cut clean. Gone from heaven, heaven so green. Blue skies above you, all the fish in the sea. What's it gonna take to love you the way that you need? Are we killing time till the last bird sing? Killing time till the last bird sings. 'Cause then it's all over. Good intentions will smolder, and bloodied hands will never wipe clean, won't wipe clean. Gone from heaven, heaven so green.
All this time on your own, looking for the starlight to find your way home. Hands outside to the heart of stone. impossible to press rewind. Crossing over the red line. All these miles, this hopeless road, looking for the exit sign to the places unknown. Don't ask why, if nothing's wrong. Driving all that distance with the blinders on. I just wanted you to know, if you leave it all behind, for the self that you belong, only you will find. Crossing over the red line. All the feelings that you hold, I can promise you don't need to hide. When you're on the other side, if you reap it what you sow, it's impossible to press rewind. Crossing over the red line. All the feelings that you hold, I can promise you don't need to hide. When you're on the other side, if you reap it what you sow, it's impossible to press rewind. Crossing over the red line. Crossing over the red line. When you're on the other side,
Put the record on and let me say my piece. Feels like I've been through hell, it's sweet to say the least. Made an early appointment to self-medicate. With the symptoms bad, I couldn't hesitate. It's a bad, bad sign when I can still remember what to forget. You're the kind of doctor I've been looking for. I love to watch you operate on the floor. You've got the surgical skills that I need for my brain to help me feel like a normal human being again. It's a bad, bad sign when things get this way. I could use your help 'cause I can still remember what to forget.
Folks, the Vikings family and the world of California Community College track and field were dealt a loss on August 4th with the passing of DVC Athletics Hall of Famer Jim Costa. A lifelong Californian, Jim was a product of the community college system himself, having transferred from the College of San Mateo to Fresno State, where he earned a master's in physical education. A shot put and discus thrower in high school and college, he began teaching PE and driver's ed in the East Bay in 1962 at Clayton Valley, where he also coached football, gymnastics, and track. In 1977, he made his way across the street from College Park to DVC, first as an assistant track coach and then as head coach from 1984 until his retirement 14 seasons later. 9 Big 8 championships and 5 appearances in the NorCal top 3 in those 14 years punched his ticket to the 5C Hall of Fame in 2013. We're keeping Tully, his wife of 63 years, as well as the entire Costa family in our thoughts, and we express our gratitude for the work he did and the many lives he touched over his teaching and coaching career here at DVC. Funeral services are scheduled for tomorrow in Livermore, but in lieu of flowers, the family has requested that you make a donation to the Special Olympics by going to specialolympics.org, and you can use the QR code right here as well on the screen to make that donation if you so choose. A quick moment of silence here before second half action gets underway in honor of Jim Costa. We're nearing readiness for second half action here, and the only thing hotter thus far than the 90-degree Cupertino weather has been the Vikings' attack. 3 goals put on the board, one of them 80 seconds in off the boot of Suhani Singh. That's a little bit on brand for her, as Suhani, of course, the returning leading scorer last season, started in all 19 matches. 5 goals, one of them coming against this Anza club, as well as an assist to go along with goals against Solano, 2 against Chabot, and 1 against Sacramento City College in that 5-1 season-ending victory for the Green and White. That was followed by a pair of debutante goals for DVC, 16th minute Casey Trujillo. As we said at the time, a goal 5 years in the making. A player that came to us from Solano, played 1 game in 2019 before an ACL tear robbed her of the rest of that season, missed a season to COVID, transferred to Stanislaus, accomplished her professional goals, and is now back initially as an assistant coach last year, and now as a goal scorer, wearing the number 10 shirt, and for that matter, playing a bit of a number 10 role, helping to coordinate the attack, albeit from a little bit further forward. Goal number 3 came in the 35th minute. That off the boot of debutante and freshman Alina Rodriguez, who's shown us already a little bit of what that powerful physique is going to be capable of here in 2024. 3-0 the scoreline. We are just about ready for action. We've got a fresh set of players up there for you, and I do believe this time around we've got all the numbers correct for the Anza Mountain Lions, and it's DVC immediately off to the races as they claim the ball after the opening kickoff. It's on the foot of Carol Esquivias. She's covered 40 yards. Now enters the 18 from the left side. Squares it up. Fired. Goal! It took 80 seconds in the first half. Today, here in the second half, it takes just 25, and Suhani Singh has doubled her tally on the day. 4-0 Vikings. And all I'm going to say is I almost wonder if this team watched Viking Soccer Rewind, because they are playing this game almost precisely like the one 10 years ago today that was my broadcast debut. That was a 5-0 victory, and there was also a goal within the opening 30 seconds of the second half. Heard a little bit of the halftime talk and selves on the ball and about better box organization, and we saw it right there. Esquivias covering about 45 yards to work her way into the left side of the box past a few defenders, and then Suhani Singh at exactly the right position for the layoff pass and the opportunity to slam one home into the top right corner. There's your scoreline. 4-0. I need an assistant. It's too many things at once. Suhani Singh's got 2. DVC have given up a ball on the far sideline. There is a little bit of a chain link fence between us and the right corner. That's going to give us some headaches here, but we'll live with it. Iris Lee dropped back to Yael Gonen. Ball forward now, covered by the number 11, Lillian Go, who was holding her arm at a rather odd angle. Free kick given for the handball. It's a very guilty posture, I must say. So a number of players unavailable today to Coach Lindefeld. Jennifer Icasa probably foremost among them, along with Adriana Rodriguez, as the ball is put in here by DVC towards the edge of the 18, reflected. Settled by Diana Ruiz, now dropped all the way back to Lily Underwood in the center circle. Also without Joyce Esley Siaka, and the most interesting one probably by far, Chetna Prasad. We'll talk in a moment about the reason for that is of interest to me. A couple nice moves here on the field. Oh my goodness gracious, we're going to have to put that one back together. No, we're not. Offside. The fact that I completely missed the build up to a goal is not going to be something that I wind up lamenting more than just as a moment of professionalism. I believe that was Cristabel Rodas stepping around several adversaries, working her way to the left side and letting rip a shot. But she brought it forward there. I think it was actually Esquivias who took the shot, and she had drifted into an offside position before it was played to her. So never mind, nothing else to reconstruct, and no stolen joy by me talking about one thing while DVC's building an attack. It's as I said, it's a return game for me. Ball claimed by Cristabel Rodas in a battle at the far sideline with Leah Hirata. Hirata wins it, tries to play it up the sideline, but that'll go out for a throw-in in front of the DVC player benches. Throw taken from that left side. Esquivias receives from Rodas. Ball rattles off of Carol. She will drop that back to Lily Underwood. Change of the point of attack to the right side. Sofia Lopez Real remains in the game as the woman at right back, forward for Marina Ognian, who has entered the game for her first action here at the halftime break. She plays that off of a defender and out for yards from the byline. So Marina Ognian into the game as the one active player today that we've yet to see in action. The Vikings today without Marina's twin sister, Julia Ognian, as well as Ella De Choco. But of the other 16, we've now seen 15 of them. Ball being worked back and forth. Lopez Real earns the byline forward, looking for Suhani Singh, knocks it down, walks it around the byline. Last touch as it goes out of play is at the corner, or is off of Burgundy, and it'll be a corner kick for DVC. Over to take that is going to be Carol Esquivias. We'll try to give you after that a recap of who is in the game here for the Vikings as they lead 4-0 5 minutes into this second half. Esquivias, a right footer. She's got a player coming short. I believe Diana Ruiz. But she will take this one long, driven to the near post. Callista Rubel takes that one out of the air and tries a first-time shot. That whistles wide of Anna Bagra's goal. So for the Vikings, as we start this second half, it does appear to be Rodas, Underwood, Rubel, and Lopez Real from left to right in the defense. Maila Hicks, not Malia. I am sorry if I've already done that a couple times today. Maila Hicks is the back of the diamond midfield. Ruiz the front of it. Ognian on the right. Esquivias on the left. Trujillo and Alina Rodriguez are your forward pairing, and Marina Ognian is going to take her first shot on goal as a DVC Viking, as the ball was, directly to her from Anna Bagra. Now she rolls that to Yael Gonen. Nearly shows too much of that to Marina. Now claimed by Ruiz. Forward and now stepping into space is Alina Rodriguez. Leaves that for Ognian, and stepping up is Gonen. She'll take that away, and Anza look to escape. Ball on the foot of Canepa, Rolled up the left side for Santos. That's cut out, however, by Rubel. Forward to Ognian at the center stripe. Lopez Real looking for the overlap. The ball does not come. Oddly enough, might have had a chance at it as Lily Underwood, or rather Suhani Singh, tucked herself way in. to try to handle that ball, and it sprang out where Lopez Real had been before she aborted that run. Sofia off to chase that. It'll be a throw-in for DVC, it appears. Vikings up 4-0 if you're just joining us. You see that on the scoreboard there. Suhani Singh's got a brace. Scored 80 seconds into the first half and 25 seconds into the second half. Trujillo and Rodriguez with goals in the interim in the 16th and 35th minutes respectively. Ball rattling around here, and it'll be Maila Hicks stepping up from the back of the defense to claim. Tries to put that to the right side for Ognian. Deflected out by the Anza defense. A throw-in to come here for the Vikings. This DVC team is going to be on its way to PayPal Park after today's game. They're going as a group to see the Barcelona versus Bay FC game. Team's got a handful of Barcelona fans in it, but Sofia Lopez Real, who just put in the throw-in, I'm going to assume has no doubt about where her loyalties are. She's a Real Madrid fan, so I'll bet she'll be extra loud in favor of Bay FC. Enemy of my enemy is my amigo, I assume. Calista Rubel on the ball here. Forward for Ognian, trying to touch that into space for the run of Lopez Real. Just a little too hot. That'll go out for a Anza throw. Mila Ninkovic over on the left side, or rather the right side of the field at the beginning of today's match, definitely among those Barcelona fans on their way to this game. Same goes for Carol Esquivias, the Ognian twins as well. Hard to imagine how a pair of Argentinian twins might become fans of Barcelona. That's a real thinker. I wonder how they feel about PSG and Inter Miami for that matter now. It is Marina Ognian on the ball, dribbling into the center and exchanging places with Rodriguez. Ball cleared from the foot of Suhani Singh by the arrival of Kroll. Throw in to come, but first a substitution. And from an admittedly large distance, that may well be the DVC debut of Hannah Walden. That does look like a 21. And indeed, she enters the match for Cristabel Rodas, and that is the last of the available players today into the game. Like-for-like swap, she installs herself at left back. It's the right back, Sofia Lopez, on the ball right now. Bringing a ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, reflected by the Anza defense as far as Ognian. Ognian dribbles one way, then the other. Now trying to split two defenders, loses out on the ball. Calista Rubel way far forward at the edge of the 18 in battle. She knocks a player to ground, and I'm not entirely sure that was a foul, but Troy Teal does give it. Calista Rubel, a legacy player, one of 11 Rubel siblings, one of whom, Carissa, played here at DVC a handful of years ago and is now over at San Jose State. Calista, a very different type of player than Carissa was. Clarissa, a little more slight in build, a little more tricky on the ball. Callista's got that, I always appeal to the Erica McDonald thing. I was a player of years gone by here at DVC who defenders used to just bounce off of, and she got called for more fouls than she honestly deserved, and I think we may have seen a little of that right there. But I will defer to Troy Teal. Anza on the ball right now, but they lose out on it at the near sideline. Quickly worked ahead by Ognian for Rodriguez, trying to touch it into space for her, and she beats the defender Gonen to it. Working towards the byline, Marina loading up across towards the near post, met with the head of Singh, and that is going to carry over the back line. Took a deflection off Leah Hirata over there, and it'll be a corner kick. As we told you at the start of the half, box organization, one of the big keys in the halftime talk. They felt they were getting the ball into good places, but just not making the right runs now and again. They don't want the ball to touch the ground on these corners if they can avoid it. This is one that could get there, but it is going to take one hop. Met with the head of the 27, Alina Rodriguez, cleared partially to the right side. It finds Marina Ognian, and she appears to have done herself a little bit of harm as she went to claim that ball. Correction, Carol Esquivias, the one who goes down in a heap, and we certainly hope we're dealing with just a bit of cramp here. Esquivias, a player who last year, for those who might not remember, was wearing a bulky brace on a knee that had been repaired from an ACL tear. Vikings believe they had her at about 60% last year. She spent a lot of time in the weight room. Bit of an awkward attempt to grab the ball after it was cleared away, and she is on the deck right now, potentially awaiting attention from the training staff. Now, she is helped back to her feet in this moment. We'll take the opportunity to applaud and have a little bit of relief. As we said, she's somebody who's worked very hard on her strength in the training room, a little bit of a late bloomer physically, but somebody who's already demonstrated quite a bit of the potential she's got on that left wing. We'll see if the Vikings are going to sub her off at this point, just in the interest of not doing any further damage and making sure everything is as it should be. Cristabel Rodas, who told me she had a great connection already burgeoning with Carol, daps her up as she leaves the field of play. I think the Vikings, for the time being, a woman down, as they'll need to earn a throw-in to author the substitution. Ball is off of White here as it goes over the near sideline. Throw-in for the Mountain Lions. So the Vikings will continue to wait. New throw-in is met with the head of a Anza player and goes straight back out. And so Troy Teal indicating that the substitution is now ready. In fact, it looks like Callista Rubel is going to come off, so perhaps already the substitute in for Esquivias. Looking around for a player that I wasn't seeing beforehand. It's going to be Sierra Rosemont back into the game, and I can see here Brandon Bush on the chat. We've got a Sierra Rosemont fan. Either that or a fan of a different Big 8 school that's tuned into the wrong thing. I'm going to assume the former. So Rosemont back in. I see. It's Cristabel Rodas who came back into the game, and she's now playing in Esquivias' spot on the left side of the attack, with Walden remaining in at left back. Suhani Singh spinning her defender in a circle and now plays it forward for Rodas, who is onside. Rodas enters the 18. Leah Hirata is going to take that off of her foot and play it away towards the far sideline. Held in there by Hannah Walden. Her first touch as a Viking. Pushes a ball into the 18-yard box, reflected by Iris Lee, the 7. And back out the far sideline, throw in DVC. So we'll give you the quick reset. It does now appear to be Maila Hicks, actually all the way back at center back alongside Lily Underwood. Lopez Real and Walden bracketing it on the right and left side as your outside backs. Rosemont back in as your back of the diamond midfield. The ball presently on the foot of Suhani Singh, who threads one forward. That may have been a shot. It's going to roll to Anna Bagra. Rosemont, the back of the diamond midfield. Marina Ognian on the right. Cristabel Rodas on the left. Diana Ruiz up front. Suhani Singh and Alina Rodriguez. Your forward pairing at the moment, with Trujillo back on the bench. Ball's on the foot of the Anza defense. Yael Gonen, player who came up big in the victories last season for Anza College. Iris Lee, a nice little bit of wizardry to get around Diana Ruiz. Drops it back to Hirata in the defense. Walker, forward looking for Lee, taken off of her by Ruiz. Immediately towards Alina Rodriguez, who tries to spray it for Rodas down the left wing, reflected by the Anza defense. Claimed by Rosemont. Forward for Ognian and stabbed away by Gonen. Casey Walker with a high boot. Unable to settle it, comes back to DVC. Nice touch with the outside of the boot for Singh. Plays in Rodas, left side. Cristabel fires! Saved! Still rattling around. Singh gets a knee to it, but it's cleared away before she can punch it home for the hat trick. It remains 4-0 DVC. And I need a quick bit of identification in a moment as I'm seeing someone on the chat. Ball played in right now. It's Diana Ruiz in pursuit at the half moon. Stabbed away by Anza. Forward, though, DVC reclaimed. Diana Ruiz at the half moon, taken off of her boot. Loading up a shot from distance to Sierra Rosemont. The rebound nearly falls to Suhani Singh, now played away on the left sideline. I see a little bit of chat going there. Is that the Danielle Davis that played here at DVC years ago? Do we have Dee in the house? Inquiring minds want to know. Quick stoppage in play here on the throw-in. It looks like Casey Walker may be taking a breather for a moment. Unfortunately for Coach Lindefeld, no further substitutes available off the bench, so Anza will be playing a woman down for the time being. Iris Lee, now your isolated forward, and Jessica Zhao is going to tuck back, assuming she's out there at all. Right now, struggling a little bit to spot who's who. We also may well have a change in goalkeeper that was not announced earlier. I see somebody new putting on the gloves. We are going to make the best of this here. It does appear to be somebody new getting the gloves on, either that or Ana Bagra needed to change them up. We actually, this is the weirdest bit of history repeating that we continue to see over the course of this game. If I do recall correctly, late in the game 10 years ago, there was the need for a substitute goalkeeper that came out of the midfield. We'll try to give you a sense of what's going on. In the meanwhile, DVC appear to have earned a corner kick from the left side. They lead 4-0, and I see it is indeed Dee Davis. I don't know if you can hear my smile, but I can. That was a fun player to scream about when they had a big save. It's been one of the only vacancies today as the ball's played into the 18-yard box, rattling around near Rosemont, and touched over the end line. Indeed by Sierra. No, clearly by a Anza player, because it will be another corner kick in just a moment. Miki Miyazaki getting ready to re-enter for the green and DVC are going to try out all sorts of alignments here as they seem to have win number 1 on the season, for the most part, pretty well locked down. Here's Hannah Walden into the 18, knocked down with the chest of the number 13, Sierra Rosemont. Her shot into the belly of whoever that is now in goal. Casey Walker returns to action after getting checked out. So we do see Iris Lee as an isolated forward. Isabella Canepa also on the field in the midfield alongside, correction, I'm sorry, that is Lillian Go, the number 11. Iris Lee in the midfield. Santos also forward. Trying to get a sense of what Anza currently have going, but DVC at the moment making an effort to attack. The ball on the foot of Sierra Rosemont. She'll claim and look to settle things, going back to Lily Underwood, who for a moment I thought was the person coming off for Miyazaki. It might still be the case. Mickey's still waiting for her entry into the game. Sofia Lopez Real, the right back, working forward up the right sideline. Nice little show and go as she got by Santos. Now forward for Marina Ognian. Drop back to Rosemont, about 35 yards from goal. Locked in a battle with the 18. Donna Bellido relieves the pressure by dropping it to Walden on the left side. Straight back to the foot of Sierra. Forward to Ognian, 25 yards from goal. Dribbles to her right, leaves that at the right top corner of the box for Alina Rodriguez. Trying to work her way through Yael Goren. Help defense comes from Iris Lee, and the ball is cleared up the sideline and held there by Santos. Away by Ruiz. Now back onto Burgundy feet. Donna Bellido coming up the right side. Cristabel Rodas in pursuit of her. That pressure will force her to drop it back to Casey Walker. Back onto the foot of Iris Lee, playing a two-woman game with Canepa to try to get around the pressure of Diana Ruiz, but no luck with that. Ball onto the foot now, briefly, of Suhani Singh off the foot of Ruiz. Ball played forward for Bellido as Anza do take it away, going up the right sideline. Cristabel Rodas pins her to that sideline. Ball out of play. It'll be a DVC throw-in. And that will allow time for Miyazaki to enter. We'll see who she's taking off. And I believe that is the 6, Diana Ruiz, leaving the fray for the time being. Miyazaki appears to be installing herself in exactly the same spot, so like-for-like swap. We've seen Maila Hicks a little bit everywhere. Hannah Walden's got her debut and has acquitted herself nicely so far at left back. Miyazaki putting pressure on Canepa, and it's enough to force an errant pass right to Walden. Forward for Rodriguez. One quick touch, and now it's Singh looking for Ognian, leaking out. She's onside, but the first touch lets her down. Comes to the byline to chase it. She does claim it. Now drops the ball back for Rodriguez. Her first touch is going to guide it toward the 6, where it is cleared away by Anza. Sierra Rosemont pops it up with the head, rattling around, and Lopez Real, the cool head to stop it. Drop back to Rosemont. Lily Underwood now coming through the center circle. Dribbles her way through Iris Lee, but a little too heavy that last touch. Hirata stands up and pushes it forward. Lillian go. Can't defend that against the arrival of Miyazaki. Forward here for the number 5, Lily Underwood. Walden. Miyazaki shields it nicely. It's going to come all the way to Rodriguez, about 25 yards rather from goal. Slips the ball in for Suhani Singh, but the flag goes up. Rosie Go, our near side assistant referee, says Suhani went just a moment early. So I was telling you here, the head coach for this Anza side, just 11 players at his disposal today. One of the ones that was absent, Chetna Prasad, I found out was due to a broken finger from playing cricket, which, if you do know anything about me, is one of the other things that I've added to my repertoire over the years. Thought I was going to be calling a game this coming Friday, but apparently that has dried up. But minor league cricket will be getting going in Morgan Hill, just no broadcast for it. I'm still deciding if I might make the trip anyway. Ball on the foot here of Rodas on the left wing. Couple step-overs to try to get around Hirata. And it is going to be Hirata taking the ball away, but not for lack of trying by Rodas. Turned one way, then another. And it's Hannah Walden cutting her off. Now up the left wing. Walden steps through one defender, and it's Casey Walker taking it away. Walden looking to get stuck in, but it is 2-on-1 over there. Hirata comes away with the ball on the right side. Forward now for Bellido. Bellido, heavy touch, shows too much of it to Lily Underwood. Put out for a throw-in. It'll go the way of the women in Burgundy. 20 minutes to go. DVC, a 4-0 lead. 3 goals on the board in the first half, coming courtesy of Suhani Singh, Casey Trujillo, and Alina Rodriguez. Suhani Singh got the double just 25 seconds into this second half. And thank you, Brendan Bush, on the chat there for getting that just before I answered Dee Dee's question for us. Throw in is knocked forward by DVC. Suhani Singh committing a foul, trying to work her way around the defender there, Leah Hirata. I have to say here in this second half, they've done a pretty good job preventing much of any incursion up the left wing after the first minute. Vikings had a goal 25 seconds into the half on a crazy run up the left wing by Carol Esquivias Contreras that led to a layoff for Suhani Singh, who punched it home from roughly the penalty dot. They had one more go of it as Rodas and Esquivias combined up the left side, but it was waved off for offside. Since then, Vikings have tried, but they haven't produced a ton from that side. Getting a bit more at the moment from Ognian Rodriguez, and for that matter, the overlaps of Sofia Lopez Real from right back. Gonen forward here for Santos. Little long here, and Real, my goodness, Sofia has got speed to burn. She will look to shield this over the back line. And instead, it will be kept in by Ana Santos Eugenio. And we've got a cooling break here as the ball goes out of play, and we'll take the opportunity to do a little bit of Around the Big 8 coverage. So a look at what's gone on so far here in the Big 8. 3 teams have started the season with a win, 3 teams have started it with a loss, 1 with a draw, and Cosumnes River in action at the same time as us, hosting Las Positas College, who the Vikings will face in their final non-conference game. That will be on September 27th in Livermore. We see a few faces there as well amongst the adversaries of the Big 8 clubs that will be either coming to Pleasant Hill or that the Vikings will be visiting themselves. Woodland Community College fell to a 9-1 defeat to Santa Rosa in the opening match for both of those programs last Friday. Woodland will be the next adversary of the Green and White in Pleasant Hill. See Sierra College with a 4-0 win over Butte, who will be coming to Pleasant Hill in week 4 of the season. That'll be, I believe, September 20th, if I'm remembering correctly. Modesto, meanwhile, 5-2 victors over Evergreen Valley. Folsom Lake with a 1-1 draw against Lake Tahoe Community College. And the 3 teams starting with a loss, ARC to Sequoias at home 3-0. Sacramento City took the long ride down to Lemoore and lost 4-1. And San Joaquin Delta started their season in SoCal with a pair of matchups with high-level opposition, and they fell in both of those, 2-0 to Chaffee, 4-0 to Mount San Antonio College, rather. Don't read too much into that. You underestimate Adrian Sorensen's Mustangs at your own risk. Told you the upcoming calendar for the Green and White. They'll be facing off with Woodland on the 3rd, and then it's a 3-game road trip Chabot on Friday next week. That's a game that if you want to follow it, you're going to need to follow me on Instagram at JoeHickey77. There won't be a broadcast, but I will for sure be making some social media posts as we go. And then Cabrillo College and Skyline College, the destinations the week after that, Aptos and San Bruno respectively. Weird kickoff time for the San Bruno game, that being at 12:30 p.m., but we'll be at both of those with radio streams. Home games this season, planning to cover all of them with video streams over the course of the year. 4-0 here. Clock's continuing to run, both mine and the one here at Anza's soccer field. Whistle has come and the huddles are about to break. We'll take a look at one other aspect of things going on at DVC. We don't have much of any action to talk about, but we do have some action in the hiring department. A couple of new faces at DVC, one this fall and one this spring. Jimmy Collins, the new coach of the football team. Scott Wood, your new head softball coach, and we'll tell you a little bit about them as we narrate the final quarter of an hour of this match. But Jimmy Collins, 9-year head coach of City College of San Francisco, can claim 2 national championships and a pair of 3C2A Coach of the Year awards, and a coach renowned for getting his players to the next level. 213 transfers to 4-year schools, 129 of them to D1 schools, 157 scholarships. So Vikings football happy to bring him aboard. I think we're going to see a bit of an upgrade in terms of the social media and video presence of that program going forward. And, of course, you can watch along with Max Agress, who will have you handled for all of the DVC football home games this season on DVC Vikings Live. First of those a week from this coming Friday, 5:30 kickoff as they will face off with the Rams of Fresno City College. As for Scott Wood, he makes a slightly shorter trip. Didn't need to hop on BART to get over here to DVC like Jimmy Collins did. Rather, he comes across the street from College Park High School where he was before this hire. He's got 2 decades of coaching and teaching experience. As we are back underway here, the throw-in up the sideline is off the body of Marina Ognian and will be claimed by Anza. Yael Gonen ready to put this back into play. Scott Wood, I need to introduce myself to in a hurry. Haven't had the pleasure of meeting him just yet, but he shares something in common with me. He's a broadcaster, albeit for sports that I don't do at this point. But maybe he'll get involved with some of the work with DVC football this season alongside Max. He's got experience doing high school and arena league football broadcasting. Part of that because of his 6 seasons of experience playing quarterback for the San Jose SaberCats, which is a blast from the past name to hear for me. I don't know if it's still the case, but I do know at the time he held the record in 1999 for single-season pass attempts, completions, and yards. So a Bay Area local, if ever there was one. Scott Wood, welcome aboard at DVC Softball. If you're listening in, I will be your voice for the public address for softball this year, and I look forward to doing it. Probably a little less hoarse than this. This team has been running me ragged. 4 goal calls over the course of today's encounter, and they've now earned a free kick. Rather, excuse me, no, they've conceded a free kick. Looking through that chain link fence again. Sofia Lopez-Real way up the field from right back. And looking to challenge the right side of the Anza defense. Ball on the foot right now of Natalia Kroll. Her ball forward will get to Iris Lee after a touch from Casey Trujillo, who's back into the game after the cooling break. Ball forward and rolled under the foot of the 18 Bolito. 2 defenders collapsed to her, however. And DVC reclaim. Lily Underwood on the far sideline, left side of DVC's midfield. Forward for Walden, bit of a mishit. And that'll come to Casey Walker. Lily Underwood claiming a ball on the left side and now working her way up into the attack. She wants to do the overlap for the left side. Just a little too quick. Ball banked off of Wood on the clearance from Kroll. Claimed instead by Suhani Singh. Touched by Miyazaki in the direction of Marina Ognian. Gets around 2 defenders. Fires, and it's blocked by a flying Crowell, who has been Johnny on the spot 2 or 3 times on that DVC attack and prevented it from coming to anything concrete. It will be a corner kick, however. Walden and Underwood will stay back for the green and white, as will Lopez Real, perhaps on garbage duty. Esquivias no longer available, so it will be someone different taking the corner. I cannot quite make out who it is from here. I'll tell you if they score, though. Ball put in off the body of Ognian and fired by Lopez Real. That is going to wind up on the construction site. A little on the wild side. And we do have our answer about the corner kick taker, and it's Sierra Rosemont, the athletic training major out of San Ramon Valley. Sierra, for that matter, like to give a shout out to a pair of instructors she's had, one of whom has recently been fully hired into a permanent position, that being Brie Menor. And of course, now moving on up into management, but a faculty member up till now. She also wanted to give a shout out to Mike Chisar. You'll be hearing a little bit over the course of this semester from various players. Here's the goal kick straight to the feet of Suhani Singh on a hat trick. Goal! Once, twice, 3 times a goal scorer, Suhani Singh, hat trick hero on opening day. DVC make it 5-0 in minute number 80. That one admittedly a little bit of a gift. Goal kick came straight to her, and she had a pretty free run from 20 yards out, directly at the keeper. And so if the score remains this, I joked with them beforehand. Last season, they played their second game of the season, hosting Anza in what was their season debut. And DVC won it 4-0. 10 years ago today, when I had my first ever broadcast, the Vikings came to Cupertino and won 5-0. As of right now, we've got that scoreline. I wouldn't mind another opportunity at a goal call, but if this is indeed history repeating, it's pretty fun. I'll consider it an anniversary gift. Thanks, ladies. Nine minutes to go in this encounter. A Suhani Singh hat trick, along with first goals in green and white from Casey Trujillo and Alina Rodriguez. I've got DVC ready to provide win number 1 on the season and win number 195 for Coach Cailin Mullins. Will be trying to stop near the byline, looks to take Gonen on the dribble. Ball is deflected out, and DVC will have yet another corner kick. Been so busy and hurried and harried over the course of this that we haven't mentioned the coaching staff here for the Vikings. Cailin Mullins in her 23rd season, accompanied by Sam Lubicic, a former DVC goalkeeper. Newcomer to the bench here for the Vikings, along with another former DVC player, Marjan Haydari. Corner kick is going to take 2 hops. It's shielded by Marina Ognian, who tries to step around the arrival of Ana Santos, loses possession, tumbles to the ground, but no foul. Cristabel Rodas takes this one away, though, from Santos. A little bit lackadaisical on the ball there. Understandable here. Dianza's 11 has had to play the entire 90 minutes. No substitutes available due to a handful of injuries. DVC themselves with 5 substitutes available. They have used all of them so far today. Ball up the left side. Played again off of a Dianza player. It's out the back. And it is another corner kick. This one earned by Rodas on the left side. No, correction. Perhaps by Diana Ruiz back into the game, because it's Cristabel Rodas coming from all the way back to the left corner flag to take this corner kick for DVC. Vikings put 2 on the goal line, Singh and Rosemont. 4 players bunched and now splaying out. Here comes the ball into the 18. Singh looking to touch it across. No dice, ball reflected. Rodas reclaims. Transfer from Pacific Union, leaves it for Trujillo, who steps around her opposing number 10 and absorbs contact. And this will be a free kick from an interesting position here, conceded by Isabella Canepa. Very central, maybe very slightly to the left side of straight down the middle. And we will estimate 28 yards from goal. Trujillo over it. She is not going to take it direct. Puts it, though, to the feet of a woman with a heavy shot. Fired. And into the back of the net! Goal! That was an absolute worm burner. And a complete visual illusion off the boot of Diana Ruiz. Snuck that in between a diving goalkeeper and the near post. And she is tallied for the first time in green and white. That coming here in minute number 84. DVC have made it 6-0. The symmetry is broken, but who cares? 6 is better than 5. And Diana Ruiz matching her jersey number by scoring goal number 6 on the day. Dianza take the ball back into play here. It's Iris Lee dropping it back into the defense. That was an absolute illusion. And the particularly confusing part is there was a ball, I think, directly behind the goal that was disturbed by the impact of Ruiz's shot at the back of the net. And so I had no clue what I was seeing. I saw 2 balls rattling around, couldn't tell if one of them might have been inside the goal, and it was the reaction eventually of Ruiz and Trujillo that made it clear what had happened. And if you had a slight delay there on the eventual goal call and the identification, it's because I was waiting patiently for Diana to turn her back to me. We just met today. A little tough to figure out who I was seeing. 4 minutes and change to go in our encounter, plus perhaps a little bit of stoppage time for the cooling break, and the injury to Carol Esquivias will get you updated over the course of the week on her condition as it becomes apparent. Left the game about 15 minutes into this second half as a sliding challenge from Casey Walker is going to leave her a little slow getting up. She's had to leave once to get some treatment. Tough day for the women wearing number 17. But it looks like the ball is out for a throw-in to Dianza College here inside the final 4 minutes. Ball played back in. Iris Lee drives this towards the right wing as Dianza go in search of a little joy here in their opener. This team went 2-15-1 last season. Like DVC, they know a little something about a lengthy losing streak. Vikings had a 15-game winless streak in the middle of last season after a 3-0 start. De Anza lost their last 10 on the trot, but Vikings have got a great deal more quality spread out all over the field, it would appear today. Last season, a little over dependent on Amy Alva. 4-3-2 in the matches she started, 0-10 in the matches that she was either unavailable or a sub. Another goal kick. The signal a little confusing from Rosie Go. Faked me out, but a goal kick here as the ball was played up the right sideline. Unable to hold it in play was the 27, Alina Rodriguez. I do believe it is Jessica Zhao in goal right now because I do not see her available anywhere else on the field as the ball is played square across the defense and Casey Walker cannot chase it down before it goes over the touchline. Throw in to come here for the green and white. Clock on the broadcast stopped at the 2 minutes to go mark. Clock here at the field continues to run, but we're just waiting for Troy Teal to cinch up today's 6-0 victory behind 3 debutante goals from Trujillo, Rodriguez, and Ruiz, and a hat trick from Suhani Singh, who had a goal and an assist last season against these De Anza Mountain Lions, and has come back to terrorize them one more time in their own house. Ball on the foot of Marina Ognian, earns the byline. Cuts around one defender, cuts around a second, now slides this to the edge of the 18 in retrograde for Miyazaki. Now sprayed back out to Ognian on the right side. A lot of De Anza defenders in that area. Might want to put in the long cross to a place that's a little less heavily populated, but no dice. Claimed and hoofed forward by De Anza. De Anza's clock now also has come to a stop. It was again about 30 seconds behind ours. Lily Underwood forward for Sierra Rosemont. Lots of space for her. She'll put this to the right side for Marina. Marina enters the 18 at the top right corner of the box. Loads up a shot, fires, knocked down by the keeper, whoever that might be. And prevents Suhani Singh from latching onto the rebound and trying to score a fourth. No hurry to put the ball back into play here. A comprehensive victory for the women in green and white, who will go to 1-0. Head victorious to PayPal Park to watch Bay FC face off with Barcelona. And we'll rejoin you on a live video stream 1 week from today, live from Pleasant Hill, when they'll take on Woodland College, hoping for another goal fest that day. Ball on the foot of Sierra Rosemont after some nice work on the right side. This one splits Suhani Singh and 2 defenders. Ognian did not get off to the run quite fast enough, and that is going to be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. It is a DVC victory today here in Cupertino. Your final score again recapping Suhani Singh, the hat trick, 2nd minute, 46th minute, and 80th minute, the 3 goals. 2 of them a little bit in the way of a gift, but a very well-constructed goal for that one in the middle. And you got to take your chances. That was one of the things that Suhani was working on, was being more accurate on those finishes when the opportunities would arise. She had 5 goals last year, 3 already to her name in 2024. Casey Trujillo, we told you her story, back in green and white after 5 years. Started off her existence here in 2019 after a 2017 season in which she scored 13 goals at Solano. Got to play 1 game in 2019 before the injury, and finally gets that first tally in green and white today. Alina Rodriguez and Diana Ruiz, a pair of goals. Alina late in the first half. Diana, that absolute crazy illusion of a goal, snuck in at the near post in the 84th. We'll tell you a little bit here again about what is to come. Fall 2024 season getting kicked off. We do have one piece of information that is incorrect there. Volleyball will be starting off tomorrow night at 6:30 at Las Positas. First home game on the 11th of September against Merced. Water polo, the men getting started on Friday at Merced. The women next Friday at Cuesta. And their first home dates and all of their home dates will be Wednesdays in October, starting with the 2nd when they face off with ARC, cross country, and football in action next Friday when they get their season started. A quick look here at our next broadcast. As we were telling you, that'll be Tuesday, September 3rd, 4 p.m. kickoff, a video live stream right here on the DVC Vikings YouTube page. Woodland DVC. Should be a lot of fun. If you can't be in Pleasant Hill, make sure you're here. Until then, this is Joe Hickey wishing you dreams of green till next time. One last time, your final from Cupertino, Vikings 6, Mountain Lions 0.